Do you think we have a problem with honor and integrity in this world? Do you know anyone who has an honor and integrity problem? How about this one? Do you have an honor and integrity problem? Ooh, that's a big right hook of reality, isn't it? Throwing it right in your face. Well, here's the next one. Do you have the warrior confidence to admit it, to work on it, and fix it? I bring all that up because, yours truly here, I would never admitted it before, but the truth is, I wasn't always as honorable as I wanted to be or should have been. And integrity, my grandma would always remind me, Richie, what's your integrity worth? Would you sell your integrity for $10 today? Then what do you sell it for tomorrow? $100? And then what do you sell it for next day when you have nothing left? Man, that's a big right hook of reality to start the show, isn't it? But that's what we're going to talk about today, is having the warrior confidence to stand out with honor and integrity, especially in today's world when, those are just those words. I don't even know most people know what they mean anymore because they're just tossed around or they're not said at all. But unfortunately, oftentimes we might get caught in that trap where we're selling our honor integrity to the lowest bidder. Not good. Well, stay tuned because that's what we're going to talk about today. Are you ready to be empowered with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in yourself, to overcome your fears and battle through every challenge and bully you face, both real and in your mind? Are you ready to learn life-changing strategies on how to develop the right mindset and positive mental attitude to courageously stand out in the crowd and be who you were born to be? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Building Warrior Confidence Podcast. Greetings and welcome to Warrior Confidence Unleashed. I'm your host, Master Rich Grogan, and I'm truly grateful you're here today. If you're new to the show and this is your first time, then welcome to the show. And if you've been here before and you're back for more, then welcome back to another round of Warrior Confidence Power. Well, how are we doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully that intro got you all pumped up. The little tease at the very beginning got you thinking about honor and integrity. And then, of course, what it takes, what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, that warrior confidence to be the very, very best you can be. So as I mentioned, hopefully you're having a great day. And maybe if you're not, then this episode is exactly what you need. Or maybe you're having a little trouble yourself with honor and integrity, or you got a friend, or you're just like, man, I've got it. Seems like I've got honor and integrity. It doesn't seem like anybody else that I surround myself with or talk to, or even in this world, has it. What do I do? How do I have the warrior confidence to stand out? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Well, this is episode number 360, and I titled it Warrior Confidence, Standing Out with Honor and Integrity. And during this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of, not only cultivating, but unleashing, like I always talk about, kind of unleashing that inner warrior, that belief in yourself, that confidence, to not blend in with the crowd, but to stand out from the crowd. And then follow your convictions, follow your beliefs, follow your honor and integrity, or follow your, what I've been talking a lot about lately, is your impeccable character, the character that you've built, that foundation that you've built on who you are, what you stand for, what you represent. And of course, that ties right into, honor and integrity. And of course, every episode I kind of dip in a little bit, talking about the character and the attitude and the mindset. And those that are new to the show, honor and integrity are kind of, with our martial arts academy that I owned for almost 30 years, those were kind of our core values, our core four, I'd call them. It was honor, integrity, discipline, and respect. And every decision I made was based on those core pillars. Now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the tease there, did I always have the integrity that I strive and shoot for and kind of my core pillars that I have now? No, I didn't. My honor and integrity, I wanted to believe I had it, but deep in my heart, sometimes I would take the easy way out, and you are who you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are constantly taking the easy way out, they have no honor, they have no integrity, impeccable character. What does that even mean? Yeah. Then unfortunately you're going to drift off the path that you should be on. So I'm going to share with you today what I have done to have that, I like to say, the standing out with impeccable character. And then there's always challenges, and every day is not sunshine and rainbows. There are challenges in every single day. But by establishing those core four, as I like to call them, our core pillars, the honor, integrity, discipline, respect, and then basing decisions based on that, this decision I'm about to make, does this fall in line with my core values? And if it's outside those, then you know what? It's not the right decision to make. And example, like at the Martial Arts Academy, we would do everything we can to create the best possible environment we could for everyone coming in. I wanted people to be there, to be happy, to be, I'm like, man, this place makes me feel good. It's inspiring. It's motivating. Man, it's just powerful in here. It makes me feel good to be here. Yeah, because, we all like to feel good. We all like to be happy and healthy, safe, comfortable, right? Yeah. But at the same time, and this is where the balancing act comes in, we're going to create a great atmosphere, but the kids are going to work for it. They're going to work for their belts, work for their stripes, work for their tips, work for their next advancement. Why? Well, that falls in line with the honor integrity. The honor integrity was, look, I'm not going to give away belts. I'm not going to sell belts just because mom and dad complain or, well, if a kid doesn't get it, he's probably going to quit. And they'll say, well, we're probably not the right place for you then. Boom. I know that sounds harsh, but that was the decisions we'd make. I'd tell people, look, we'll go out of our way to do everything we can to make it right as long as it doesn't breach those core four. Now, I'm telling you this because whatever battle you're dealing with or whatever decisions you're making right now, I'm sure, it's a balancing act. In our martial arts academy, yeah, we wanted to grow the studio and impact as many kids as we could. And I wanted to do everything I can to help the kids continue to advance with our system. And the longer they're there, obviously, the more they're going to learn and the better they're going to get. And they're a constant reminder of, you put your shoes side by side. You bow when you come on the mat. You say, yes, sir, no, sir, please, and thank you. You give mom and dad a hug and a kiss after every class and say, thank you for bringing me. Those core values. But at the same time, if the kids didn't perform to the best of their ability, and I never evaluate on athletic ability or talent, it was always on attitude and effort. Because some kids are gifted and, gifted athletes and others aren't. That's okay. Their attitude and effort. The attitude to be willing to put forth their very, very best. And then the effort to actually do it. And the biggest reason for that, if you haven't put the pieces together already, was because I can't be with them 24 hours a day. You can't be with your kids 24 hours a day. You can't be with your team or your staff 24 hours a day. But you ingrain those principles, those core values, that honor, integrity, discipline, respect, so they can stand up for themselves if they're confronted by a bully. So they have the principles to stand out from the crowd as opposed to blending in. So they make the right choices if something bad's going down. But of course, we have to model those behaviors. We can't expect our kids, our family members, or even our team, if we're a business owner or an entrepreneur, to do anything different than what we're doing. If we're saying, hey, have honor and integrity, but we're not displaying the honor and integrity ourselves, we're taking shortcuts, we're cheating, we're talking bad about others. Oh, it's okay, it's just a little bit. Oh, you don't understand what it's like to be a business owner. And I bring that up because, man, I tell you, the 1.0 version of myself, I'm embarrassed to say it, but those are some of the things I would say. Yeah, as if it was an excuse. And usually when you're making excuses like that, well, first of all, I did not have the core pillars in place. And that was a problem. When you don't have pillars in place or core values or guardrails in place, you're going to drift all over the place. And then secondly, you got to make sure who you're surrounding yourself with, because you become, and I became who I was surrounding myself with. Yeah, now the 2.0 version, boy, it's a little different, but you have to have those core values in place. And I've talked before, I wrote a small little book with Tom Ziegler called Road Trip. And Road Trip talks about having guardrails in your life. Just like on any highway, there's guardrails, or on any bridge, there's guardrails. And those guardrails are there for what reason? Well, just in case you start to drift, you hit the guardrail and you may wreck your car a little bit, but at least you bounce back onto the highway. With the guardrails if they're not there on a bridge, you're dropping off into the ocean or in the river or the lake, wherever you're at. Or if you don't have guardrails on the highway, you drift off a little bit, you're off in the embankment and possibly going across the median to the other side. Well, in life, oftentimes, without those guardrails, or I like to say my core pillars, man, you drift. And before you know it, you're someplace you shouldn't be. And you're like, how in the heck did I get here? How did I drift this far off the path? Now, is it hard work to get back on the path? Absolutely. That's why you try and catch the drift as quickly as you can. Because the longer you drift, the harder it is to get back to back to the starting position, I guess, and then get back centered and focused on going in the direction you want to go. Kind of like when you set goals. That's why setting goals is so important. And then having the honor and integrity to not only, honor and integrity is part of setting goals, right? The process of, I am going to live a better life. I'm going to have the warrior confidence. I'm going to stand out in the crowd. I'm going to have the 2.0 version of myself. Setting those goals is almost like if you go on a road trip. Think about if you, I used to live in Illinois. I live in Florida now. But on the drive down to Florida here, if I didn't put in the map, the GPS, the destination, the exact address, then I would probably just wander around aimlessly. Well, I think I get on this highway, but maybe it's this highway. No, that's what goals are all about. And have a goal to, my honor and integrity, my discipline and respect. I'm going to build that impeccable character. And I'll tell you a good way of doing that, like I mentioned, setting goals and achieving goals, because what does that do? That it motivates, that inspires, that empowers you. Man, I did that. Well, I can do this one. I reached that goal. I can reach this goal. And it's sort of like that journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? One step. But you got to have the courage, the confidence, the belief, the warrior confidence to take that first bold, massive step. And you're doing that by listening to this podcast. I just say, hey, if you found value in it, make sure you share it with someone else to help them. And then, of course, make sure you like, subscribe, give us that 5-star review if we've earned it. And therefore, you don't miss an episode. Because you're continuously, think about it. You're continuously moving toward a goal, moving toward having that honor, integrity, impeccable character, having that attitude of excellence, that mindset of a champion, getting better, becoming the hero, the champion you were born to be, each day. Or we're drifting off that path. Now, maybe you say, man, dude, I've drifted off that path. I am so far, I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Well, you made a great decision by listening to this show, because I'm going to do everything I can, because I've been there to help you expedite the time to get back on the right path much, much quicker than trying to figure it out on your own. Once again, back to the GPS. You get lost, you take a wrong turn, the GPS will say, hey, wait a minute, go up to this light and make a U-turn, and then take this exit. And the GPS doesn't say it, but it doesn't say, look, man, you messed up. All right, well, let's get you unmessed up and let's get back on the right path. Well, that's what I'm saying. We've all messed up. I listen to countless podcasts, conferences and seminars, and do my very best to surround myself with the best people I can to continuously self-educate. And that's a word prior to 2012. I don't even know if I knew that word, self-educate. Now it's part of the regular vocabulary. Because as Socrates says, all I know is I know nothing. You got to be open. You got to be humble. You got to be willing to learn. Now, that doesn't mean be naive. And trust your gut. Something doesn't feel right, then chances are it's not. But the more you believe in yourself, the more honor and integrity you have, the more discipline and respect you have, the better decisions you're going to make. It's kind of crazy how it all works together. Yeah? All right. So anyway, as we move forward, my goal with this show, this episode, and every episode is kind of, a transformational journey to conquer the days like never before, and to help you unleash your inner warrior to defeat the meanest bully we'll ever face. Now, if you're facing a bully at work or online, well, you're going to have the confidence and courage to defeat that bully, but it all starts with defeating the meanest bully, and that is the bully in our mind. That bully is the most ruthless bully on the planet. Yeah, it kind of feeds on our lack of self-confidence, and then controls us with fear, negativity, self-doubt, and then goes to work at holding us back from not only believing in ourselves, but from becoming the champion we were born to be, the hero we were born to be. And make no mistake, every single one of us has an inner hero and an inner champion inside of us. Now, what that is in your life, well, it's whatever your God-given talent is. And that's probably the biggest question I get asked by folks that write in and I guess nobody really handwrites stuff anymore. They message in, messages and Facebook messages and messages through the app and then on YouTube, which, by the way, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, my goodness, the link is in the description box. It's Warrior Confidence, or you can get there with, youtube.com. Grogan's Bully Proof, I think, is a direct link, but Warrior Confidence gets you there as well. But the link's in the description box. But our YouTube channel, man, it continues to grow and more videos coming out. We release at least 2 a week, and it's really growing. But I get a lot of comments on the YouTube channel as well. So anyway, I just drifted off the path there and forgot what I was talking about. It happens. Got so many things. Well, we got to find my notes here. Oh, your God-given talent. And what is that? Well, it's whatever brings you the greatest joy. Whatever you would do without getting paid. Whatever just comes the most natural to you. Now, for me to find my God-given talent, believe it or not, it took a lot of journaling. I'm a big believer and advocate of journaling. Get the thoughts out of your head and on paper. Just write them down, baby. Write them down, and then go back and review your notes. And what repeats itself, that's your subconscious mind talking to you. Because it just, I was like, man, I said this 3 days ago. I said this 5 days ago. I said this a week ago. Holy smokes, or wrote it down. Yeah. So my God-given talent is something I was told I do too much in 2nd grade. That's talk too much. Richie talks too much. Richie talks too much. The amount of sentences, Richie, that's what everybody called me as a kid. My parents still call me that. The amount of sentences I had to write. I will not talk in class. I will not talk out. And I was never rude or disrespectful, but I just had a talking problem. And now that's what I do. I talk. And so that's my God-given talent. Talking, inspiring, motivating, uplifting, empowering. It was always there, but it was kind of hard for me to see for whatever reason. And then, of course, speaking and talking out, that's definitely standing out from the crowd. And boy, I've been met with, setbacks and struggles and, if you will, bullying. I was bullied as a kid. I've realized that the meanest bully was not the bully in 6th grade or in high school or even at work or online. The meanest bully was the bully in my mind. And I've talked about that countless times on other episodes, and you can definitely, when you don't listen to this episode, listen to a previous one and hear all about that. I think the last episode we talked about the Monday morning bully, the bully that tries to, I did something over the weekend that empowered you to maybe take an actionable step. You're really going to do this thing. And then the worst thing happens, Monday morning arrives, and you wake up and like, well, you know what? That was all great, but I've got bills to pay. I've got to go to work. I've got my kids. I've got my wife. I've got a relationship. I've got this and that going on. I'll get to it later. And as we know, later oftentimes becomes never. So once again, setting goals, that's that honor and integrity, that discipline and respect. But your gift, it's whatever comes most natural to you. And I highly encourage you to journal, write it down, take notes on not only the show here, if you take notes, or listen in the car, listen to it more than once. But just think, man, what is my talent? And maybe it's speaking. And, actually, public speaking is, people said, I guess and I forgot the whole entire list, but of the scariest things that people fear the most, death, ready for this, death was number 4. But public speaking was number 1. People would rather, they say, you know what, man, dying's not scary to me. Being on stage, speaking or talking out or standing out from the crowd or doing a podcast or doing a video or, like I said, being on stage, that's the scariest thing. Well, for me, that's the thing that comes the most natural. Now, maybe it does for you as well. And I encourage you, if it does, man, start your own podcast. Absolutely. You're welcome to utilize any of the things I've talked about here before. Put them out there. Get it going. There's plenty of, the YouTube videos and everything else on how to start your own podcast, how to start your own YouTube channel. It takes work. I'm not going to lie to you. But if that's something you want to do. Now, here's the thing, and we're drifting a little bit off the path here, but it all kind of comes in together. Make sure you have a passion for it. The worst thing The worst thing, and I was reminded about this not too long ago when I was at an event, and I'm really glad the speaker brought it up. And he brought up that the worst thing you can do is go into something because you think you're going to make a bunch of money. Because regardless what it is, it's going to require a lot of work. And if you don't have the passion, the desire, if it's not your God-given talent, man, the struggle is always going to be there. I mean, just like today, I'm actually a day behind doing my podcast here. We've got a hurricane coming into Florida, so we've been doing some prep work, getting ready for that. But I knew, hey, honor and integrity, I should have had that doggone thing out yesterday, but I didn't. So a little breach, but I'm getting it out now. Sometimes life kicks us in the teeth. And but I got a laundry list of things. I'm like, dang it. Do I really have time to do a podcast? Well, yeah, because you promised your listeners you would release your podcast. You need to get it out. But, you know, there's always that temptation of not doing it. There's always that like, well, I should be doing something else. So I bring that up because if I didn't enjoy this, didn't have the passion and the desire for it, and this is episode number 360, goodness gracious. There are a lot of times where I'm like, oh, dang it, I got to record another podcast. I know that sounds terrible, but there's quite a bit of work that goes in on, you know, not only the front end and then the recording and then on the back end to get it out to make it sound great. But I love it. I truly do. And it's a passion. And by the way, just so you know, I mean, I got a few sponsors rolling in from time to time, but I'm not making millions of dollars from doing this podcast at all. But I enjoy doing it, and I know it's an opportunity for me to unleash and let my voice out to help others, empower them with that warrior confidence, to stand out with honor and integrity. But you got to make sure you got a passion for whatever you're doing, because the hard times and the struggles are going to come. And if you don't have a passion for it, it's going to be miserable. So don't just go into something because you think or someone said, oh man, you can make a lot of money doing that. You're going to earn every penny of it. I had a buddy once tell me that his sister got married to an extremely wealthy guy, but the relationship was horrible. She was abused. She was unhappy, but she couldn't leave because he had all the money. And then, of course, he controlled her with that money. Anyway, what my buddy said was, he goes, you know, when you marry for money, you earn every penny of it. So it made me think, you know, when you go into a job just for, quote, quote, the money, you're going to earn every penny of it. Now, I understand. Got to pay our bills. I understand that sometimes we got to stay stuck in a position for a little while until we're able to get things worked out, until we're able to get things, I guess, in an area or a financial situation where we can move on. But I'm telling you and encouraging you, and that's it, standing out with honor and integrity. Have that honor, that integrity in yourself to realize you only got one life here. Only one shot at this merry-go-round we're on. Make sure you enjoy it the best you can. So if you're in a job that's miserable right now, or even in a relationship that's miserable right now, or you're having a hard time with your kids right now, first thing is communication. You know, try and talk to your spouse, try and talk to your partner in the relationship, try and talk to your kids, try and talk to your boss. You know, that's the first thing. Because oftentimes we may be thinking one thing and they're thinking something else. And I know from being on both sides, as a business owner and as an employee, communication, got to talk about it. That's back to having that warrior confidence to address that, having that honor and integrity, that belief in yourself to say, you know, what needs to be said, but say it in a respectful manner. And then at the same time, maybe you are stuck in a job right now or position right now. Well, I want you to focus on a goal of getting out of that position. I want you to focus a goal on what can I do to start learning something different that's going to better me. It's going to better my life. It's going to better my kids' life, my family's life. But it takes honor. It takes integrity. And what is honor? Well, to me, honor is, not only standing out from the crowd, but when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. When you say, I realize, man, what I do, how I act, what I say, my kids are following me. They're seeing me. They're seeing my actions. And are those actions honorable? Am I taking shortcuts? Am I cheating? Am I always whining and complaining? And then integrity is pretty much doing what you said you're going to do, honoring your commitment to do what you said you're going to do, even when you don't feel like it. Like many times with the podcast. There are the days I didn't feel like doing it. Integrity was, no. I've got people that take time out of their day to listen. I need to make sure I prep my notes. I need to make sure I put in the time. I need to make sure I produce the best quality content I can. I need to make sure that I'm continuously doing research and learning and growing to share. And most of all, integrity. I like to think in our creed at the Martial Arts Academy, the second line said, with honor and integrity, I will stand up for what is right and protect those in need. But you got to have the warrior confidence, that belief in yourself to do that, to stand out from the crowd, not just blend in like everybody else, not just go along aimlessly. Now, people ask a lot, do you think we have an integrity, an honor and integrity problem in the world? And absolutely, yes, we do. I mean, from our politicians to our news media. And that's why so few people think it's important for them to have honor and integrity. I probably hear this, gosh, and it rips my heart out every time I hear it. But people say, why should I have honor and integrity? Nobody else does. Oh. I mean, I get that. If you get beat down enough, you begin to think, why the heck should I care? Nobody else cares. No, we can't have that. Because think of the example, once again, we're setting for our kids, or if you have grandkids, we've got to be the ones. And it's not easy. Nothing in life is easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would have it. If it was easy, everybody would be healthy, wealthy, and have the best relationships in the world. But they don't, because it's tough. But you have made a choice to listen to this show. You have made a choice that, man, I'm going to have that honor integrity. I'm going to stand out in the crowd. I'm going to develop that warrior confidence. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to set those goals. I'm going to reach those goals. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have setbacks. I'm going to have adversity. I'm going to get knocked down. I'm going to get set back, but I'm going to get back up each and every time. That's the attitude. And I call that an attitude of excellence. Yeah. Attitude of excellence is, I have got the attitude that, am I excellent today? Well, I'm going to have the attitude that I'm going to do my very, very best and be as excellent as I can today, regardless of what setbacks happen, regardless what challenges happen. I'm going to do my best. And there are days when you've done absolutely your very, very best, and you may feel like, dang, I still didn't get ahead. But you didn't lose either, because you're still moving. You realize you accomplished something, regardless how bad the day is. I guarantee you, if you stop, have an attitude of excellence, and count your blessings, there was something good that happened during the day. Now, you may have had 10 bad things happen, but there was something good. Let's focus on that good. Write that thing down to give you that energy, that push you need to get back up and fight another round tomorrow. Because you're going to have those days. And on those days, count your blessing, go to bed, knowing that you did the best you could. You're going to get well rested, maybe listen to this episode again, and then get fired back up the next day and say, you know what? Yesterday, life, you handed it to me, but today is my day. Today is my day to stand out from the crowd with that warrior confidence, to have that honor and integrity, to stand up for the rights and protect those in need. But you got to believe it in yourself first. You can't do anything. And that's one thing I probably talk about the most, is when you're not at your best, you can't help others. You've got to be at your best. And how do you do that? Well, proper sleep, proper nutrition, proper exercise, all the things you've heard countless times from other people. But it's true. Yeah. What you put, think about if you were to, your car, if you were to go to open the engine block and just dump dirt in your car engine, would it run? No, you're saying that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. Or if you open your gas cap and threw dirt in the gas tank. No, it wouldn't run. Well, the same thing with our bodies. If we're putting dirt, garbage, yuck, filth into our bodies and our minds, are we going to operate? Are we going to function at a high level? We're not going to function at all, right? No. We got to take our car, and if we did that to the mechanic, they got to get in there and clean all that guck out, right? Get all that, what in the world you do here, man? You threw dirt in your engine block. You threw dirt in your gas tank. Why in the world you do that? You're like, I don't know. Well, same thing with our minds. Same thing with our bodies. If our nutrition sucks, if we're driving through freaking fast food restaurants all the time. Now, and here I get it. If you're tired, you're depressed, you're wore out, you're exhausted, you've had more losses than wins in the day, and you're just not feeling the best, It's easy to drive through that drive-through. I've done it many, many times. And here's the sad thing is, when you eat that garbage, your body wants to reject it. It doesn't want it because it's not healthy. So what does your body do? Your stomach starts like this and that. Your mind now has got, it's not functioning properly because all that grease and preservatives and everything else they put in that garbage from fast food restaurants. So your mind isn't functioning properly. Then you go to bed. Your digestive system is the hardest working system in your body. Well, if it's working overtime trying to process garbage, then you're not sleeping very well. So you get up the next day and you're even more tired than you were yesterday. So now you got to try and battle through. Now you end up, and I never drank those 5-hour energy things. And I have a cup of coffee now with honey in it. That's kind of how I start my day. I used to drink hot tea. I love hot tea, but I was probably drinking too much hot tea and actually kind of upset my stomach a little bit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I never drank the 5-hour energies or those Red Bulls or any of that stuff. If you're drinking that stuff, I'm encouraging you, man, don't do it. It's not a quick little fix, man. And once again, your system tries to reject it. But so you kind of continue the cycle here. You wake up, you're tired, exhausted, you load up on the 5-hour energies, and then you eat garbage for breakfast because you're running late. And then the cycle continues again and again. And that's, earlier in the episode, I talked about that drift. It's like, how in the heck did I get here? How did I get 25 pounds overweight or 30 pounds overweight or whatever the case may be? How do I feel so miserable? How do I have no energy? Why am I so irritable all the time? Why am I depressed? Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens because we don't stop that drift. Man, just like, GPS. We start drifting off the path. We take a wrong turn. The GPS gets us back on track because that's a goal. The GPS is our goal to get to our destination. I want you to have goals in your life to get to your destination. I want you to find that God-given talent. I want you to have that warrior confidence to stand out in the crowd and benchmark. What is my goal for the day? What is my goal for the week, the month, the quarter, half year? Set those things down. And when you start to drift, man, you're going to say, this isn't in line with my goals. And I talked about earlier about having the pillars at the Martial Arts Academy, honor, integrity, discipline, and respect. Well, those were our core 4. If it didn't fit in that, and the perfect example was if a kid did not work hard and earn their next tip, stripe, or belt, or advancement, we would just say, hey, you know what? Maybe today wasn't your day. I want you to practice on these few things and then come back, tomorrow or later this week, and we'll retest you. But I can't give you something you didn't earn. And for our new friends, I very, very adamant about I am not a believer in everyone gets a trophy, everyone gets an A or a grade or a belt just because they show up. I am an adamant believer in look, we train kids and adults to work hard to earn something because that sets the precedence and the foundation for the rest of their life. They get used to getting something for nothing, then they're going to think that's the way life works. And it just does not work that way. And we have so many institutions now that just give kids a grade or give them a belt or give them a trophy because, they had a bad day. Now there's no honor and integrity in that. And that gets me fired up more than anything. And so many institutions lie to kids. And what I mean by lying to kids, you're telling kids things that we know are false. We know are wrong. We can't be lying to kids. We can't be giving them trophies and medals and grades that they haven't worked hard for. And yeah, it's always sad. I mean, the thing in life, if there's a race, one person wins and everybody else doesn't. Doesn't mean they're a loser, but that's going to give you, we need to condition our kids to get back up and fight harder, to be better, because that's the way life is. But anyway, I kind of drifted off there because that's a big, huge pet peeve of mine because there's no honor and integrity in that. My goal is to help these kids be the very best they can be. And I even had a guy the other day say, why does that bother you so much? What bothers me so much, because our kids are killing themselves at an alarming rate because the reality of life is, and adults too, by the way, suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 34. Think about that for a second. And the reality behind that is when sooner or later life's going to hit you with what I like to call right hook reality, you're going to get dropped to the deck. Now, if you've conditioned yourself to have the perseverance, to have the grit, the determination to get back up, then you are going to get back up and you're going to be stronger because you've overcome this challenge. However, if kids have never been conditioned to handle and solve kid problems, small issues, when they become teenagers, they're not going to have any clue how to handle anything. And if they've been lied to their whole life and they find out that, wait a minute, man, I don't know how to do anything. I didn't earn this. I don't know how to do this. And when they're hit with adversity and setbacks and challenges because they weren't built on a foundation of honor and integrity because they never earned it, that's when they give up. That's why it bothers me so much. And it really bothered me, this guy that I respected a little bit, but wow, for him to say, oh, it just, you know what, just live your life. Well, this is my life, empowering people. This is my why. And my why is kind of my purpose, my mission, my vision, my goal, why I'm put on this planet. And it's to, plant trees that I'll never sit under, to empower others to believe in themselves, to develop that warrior confidence, to unleash that inner warrior, to defeat that bully in their mind, to stand out in the crowd with honor and integrity, discipline, and respect, to be who God created them to be. Yeah. And, occasionally I'll get messages from people saying, oh yeah, well, you talk all that stuff, man. That just, you're not living in this world. Well, my message to those folks is, well, thank you for the feedback. I'm definitely not the right podcast for you to listen to. There's millions of others out there. Because, yeah, I want to help those people, but I can't help anybody who's unwilling to help themselves. Just like you chose to listen to this. And I'm so very grateful. I cannot express that enough. My gosh. The first few episodes, and this is episode number 360, I remember, man, oh man, it starts with one, and, I got like 20 listens on my first one, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And then it builds from there. And then, of course, you have the ups and downs and this and that. But, somebody had said, would you continue doing this if you only had 20 people listening? Now, I hoped after all these years and 360 episodes, I had more than 20, and been thankful. I'm grateful I do. But I'm thankful for each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy day to tune in. I mean, that's why, I ask with the most humble manner, please, if you found value, like, subscribe, give us that 5-star review. Therefore, others know about the show, and it can help. Kind of my whole main mission is make society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live for all of us. Yeah, but it takes all of us working together. And my goal for you listening is to help you be the healthiest you can be, become the happiest you can be by working through solving problems, the healthy, obviously, with nutrition and spiritual health and mental health and physical health. And then the healthier you are, the happier you're going to be. The happier you're going to be, man, the more successful you're going to be in life. And the more successful you're going to be, and when I say safer, I want society to be safer because happy, healthy people aren't, bullying one another, aren't shooting up schools. Happy, healthy people don't do those things. Well, happy, healthy, and successful people are doing what they can to help others become happy, healthy, and successful, and that's what creates a safer environment for all of us. But it gets back to that warrior confidence, standing out from the crowd with honor and integrity, doing the things that you know are right. Your gut tells you what's right and what's wrong. But my whole goal with the episode, or this episode, all episodes, the podcast, is just to kind of remind you, hey man, you're not alone out there. I'm with you, baby. I'm going to do everything I can to help empower you and the thousands of others that are listening to make that change, to make our society a better place to live. And kind of think of it like a pebble in a pond. I throw a pebble in the pond, what happens? Ripples, right? Yeah, that's a ripple effect. Well, man, if I throw a pebble and you throw a pebble and thousands of others are throwing pebbles, thousands of others are standing out from the crowd with honor and integrity, thousands of others have the discipline and the respect, the manners, are doing the right thing, helping themselves become their very, very best, helping themselves become the healthiest they can be, the happiest they can be, and the most successful they can be. Think about that transformational process. Think about that ripple effect. And I like to say, instead of all of us throwing pebbles, we're all on our own journey, yes, but man, this journey of a happy, healthy, safe society or happy, healthy, successful you, let's pick up a massive boulder, all together and throw that sucker in the pond and flood the banks. Sound good? Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, of course, can we do it? Well, absolutely we can. What does it take? We got to believe in ourselves. And what did we talk about this whole episode? Standing out with honor and integrity, doing what you say you're going to do, setting a goal, believing in yourself, realizing you're living not just for you, but for your kids or the next generation. But you've got to be your very best. You've got to live your best possible life. Best kicking life, I like to say, right? And kicking life is, instead of life kicking your butt, man, you're freaking kicking life's butt. You've had enough. I'm kicking life's butt and living the best kick in life. That's why God put me on this planet. But it starts having that warrior confidence, standing out with honor and integrity. Sound good? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, kind of a recap. Do you think our world, not just our society or our country, but our world would be a better place if we had more honor and integrity? Yeah, absolutely. Do you know anyone that maybe is struggling with honor and integrity? Have them listen to this episode. Yeah, I mean, you talk to them, but have them listen to this episode. Share it with them. Yourself. After we've talked, do you think you may have an honor and integrity problem? I hope not. I mean, maybe if you did, it's okay, because like I said, I did. But now it's part of my core four, baby. Something I think about every single day. It's those pillars that keep me in the guardrails. It doesn't mean I don't drift. But I got those guardrails now, so I bang off the guardrail. I'm like, wow, what the heck was I doing? What was I thinking there? And the guardrail's kind of a wake-up call, right? I mean, if you've ever, hopefully not, but I know I have, on a long road trip, dozed off at the wheel. Scary, terrible. You know, you're tired, man. Take a break. Really. Get out, walk around. Because you only get one shot. I mean, I got lucky many, many times. I've bumped into guardrails. Actually, I had a truck. This was, what year was this? 1993. Had this beautiful black truck. I was working late. I was working at, where was I working? Ponderosa at the time. And then after I got off work, went over to my girlfriend's house, which is my wife now, Desi's house, and dozed off on the couch. I worked like a double shift at the restaurant. Went over there just to see her, because I worked a couple doubles in a row. Anyway, like 2 a.m, I was like, I woke up, I'm like, oh, I got to go home because I've got another long day tomorrow and I need to change clothes. So I'm driving home, dozed off, and hit the side of the bridge. Now I'm grateful that the bridge had the guardrails, and I'm grateful that I was actually on the bridge and didn't miss the bridge and go off, because I had to go over, I lived on an island, literally lived on an island, and you had to go over this bridge. It was a farm we had on this island. But over the bridge, well, in the middle of the bridge, dozed off and smashed the whole side of my truck, crushed the, not only flattened the tire, but crushed the wheel. And holy cow. Now this was like, it was cold, so it was February or March. And I guess it was, well, it's still cold in March in southern Illinois there. But so now it's 2-something in the morning. It's freezing cold outside, and I've got to try and change this tire. Oh my gosh. And of course I was dead tired. Anyway, it was scary as can be. Scary as can be. But I bring that up because, dozed off. Sometimes we're sleeping at the wheel of our life, and we doze off, and we drift off the path. Now, luckily, I had that bridge, that guardrail, which smashed the truck and tire and everything, but it kept me from going off into the Mississippi River and drowning. So make sure we've got those guardrails in our life. Good? All right, folks. Well, hey, quick shout out to FitBod exercise and fitness app. Man, I've been killer workouts with them. I mentioned on a post the other day on Facebook. So if you're not following me on Facebook, make sure you do so. It's Warrior Confidence Warrior Confidence Unleashed with Master Rich Grogan is our page. And then if you want to follow my personal page, it's Rich Grogan. It's a personal page. Same thing on Instagram, Warrior Confidence Unleashed with Master Rich Grogan, or I think it's just that, what is it, @ Warrior Confidence. But this greens greens and nutritional supplements company that I've been sampling for the last 6 weeks. And I gave a little shout out to them, and it's called Live Pure. It's the first time I've announced it, but I've been in a partnership with them, and I'm going to be doing more and more with them, because over the past 6 weeks, I've seen tremendous results with my pre-workout drinks, my after-workout proteins. It's all pure, and then the greens is the biggest thing, helping with gut health, helping with sleep, helping with if you've got anxiety or you've got gut health was the biggest thing for me. For whatever reason, I tend to stress and worry a little bit more. It's part of my, I guess I'm a very energetic, hyperactive person, so it's just kind of one of the downsides of that. But it is what it is. I mean, God made me the way he did, and I got to utilize my God-given talents. But I'm just sharing that these supplements have been fantastic, and I'm very happy. I'm in partnership with them, and I'll be talking about partnership opportunities with my listeners and with friends and family members more and more as we move forward. And I'll start posting links on how to connect and how to become a partner if you're interested in doing that. And then, of course, how to get the supplements and have the life-changing effect that I've had with them in just a short period of time. But you got to mix that also with your exercise program. You can't have one and not the other. The best is to have both. But anyway, quick shout out to Live Pure. Fantastic. Quick shout out to FitBod. Also, my wife's coffee business called Beachside Blend here in Palmetto, Florida, kind of the Bradenton area. They're going to do their first coffee truck outing this coming Saturday. So if you happen to be an earshot of this, and they're going to be at where we live, Eves Bend and Artisan Lakes. They'll be at the mailboxes on Saturday. What is Saturday's date here? Let me see. Saturday, September 2nd. Unbelievable. And so there, and then they've got a whole calendar booked, and I'll give shout outs and places, and I'll start listing those in the description box as well as where they're going to be, so you can check them out and get a great cup of tasty coffee or Lotus drink, or wife sells these what are they, like sunblock, and it's all healthy too. It's all natural, which is fantastic. Sunblock, lotion, after lotion, and oh my goodness, what else? Skincare, all that stuff. So it's fantastic. Anyway, shout out to them. And of course, shout out to our former martial arts academy, Goshen Academy of Martial Arts in Edwardsville, Illinois. Check them out. It's run by my senior student and senior instructor who now owns the academy, Master Nathan Wilkening, and that's Goshen Academy of Martial Arts. Check them out in Edwardsville if you're looking for a martial arts program. All right, folks, I love you. I really do, and God loves you, and you have a unique gift, a God-given talent. But I want you to have that warrior confidence, that belief in yourself, overcome those fears, battle through their challenges, defeat that bully in your mind, to stand out in the crowd with that honor, integrity, and impeccable character, that attitude of excellence, and that mindset of a champion. You can do it. I believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. Well, if you found value in this, please kindly leave us a 5-star review. Please kindly share with someone that you know could benefit from this message. And by all means, listen to it more than once if you need to. And then when you're done with this, listen to previous episodes, and be sure to jump on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, ring that bell so you never miss an episode of our YouTube videos either. I love you, folks. And like I mentioned, I just want you to believe in yourself. God bless. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for listening today. I am truly grateful. My goal is to empower millions of people with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in themselves in order to make our society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live. But I can't do it alone. So if you found value in this message, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it, and by subscribing and leaving a 5-star review. Be sure to pick up copies of my books for yourself and someone you care about at www.warriorconfidence.com. Also, remember to stay empowered throughout the week by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Facebook and Instagram pages at Warrior Confidence. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.